Welcome. Just gonna wait for a few people to get in here. I got something I really need to say. So I'm just gonna wait for a few people to join. And while those few people are joining, definitely say hi, welcome. But I have some things that really need to be said in regards to the situation that we have going on across the United States right now. And a lot of people are not being heard. And the reason why a lot of people are not being heard is because we don't want to listen. Society doesn't want to listen. So, with that being said, yes, I'm going to discuss the fact that there have been so many killings and so many murders of unarmed African American people since 2014 to today. And what is happening is that we have a ton of people here in this world that still think that we are a segregated country. We have people who try to stand up and say that Black Lives Matter to them, but yet when a protest takes place, they turn around and use that as an opportunity to loot, to steal, to destroy property, and think that it is okay. We have not been a segregated country. If you guys do your history, you'll know exactly how long. With the most recent passing of George Floyd, my heart and my prayers and my condolences go out to his family. However, what is happening across the United States with many, many, many folks that want their voices heard, is it really being heard? Is it really being heard? Because what I've been seeing and what I've been witnessing is that the Black Lives Matter organization started in July 13. It was organized because of Trayvon Martin. Now, Trayvon Martin was a young African American man, as we all remember, who was shot and killed by George Zimmerman because they thought that he was stealing. He was just walking with his black hoodie on. Very unfortunate event. Absolutely unfortunate event. But since then, we come to today's present. And today's present is basically stating that Mr. George Floyd, who was murdered on public TV in the state of Wisconsin by a Caucasian police officer, with his neck being tightened down by the knee of the officer. Now, we've been having a lot of protests going on. But during these protests, it gets to a point to where, as the protest happens, looting happens, vandalism happens. And what I've noticed when I watch these things is our African American community is coming together, and that's what we need. But our pigmentation of white skin, those who have really had enough, needs to come together, because we're a unity. The United States is a unity, but we keep falling for the same crap. We allow so many racist people, and yes, I said racist people, to dictate how America is run. Now, some of y'all have your own opinions about this situation. However, if you really take a look at a map, and you really look at history, and you really see what's going on, do you know that across the United States, Trayvon Martin was not killed by a police officer, but do you know Eric Garner was? Do you know John Crawford III was? Most recently, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. There are hundreds of African Americans who consistently keep being killed under police brutality and normal brutality of America being segregated. Enough is enough. If we can't come together as a unity in the United States, then why the hell do we live here? Why is it called the United States of America, the home of the land of the free, when our African American community has to worry all the time, not just about white cops pulling them over, Hispanic cops pulling them over, African American cops pulling them over. African American people have to worry all the time about even just going outside, walking their neighborhood, running, doing what they like to do, which is 9/10 of the time not causing problems. Unfortunately, people only see race. There are millions of people in this world right now, in this United States. But if we don't do something about this, and we don't sit and we don't truly come together as a unity, how can the Black Lives Matter movement continue to go? This needs to be heard across the world, across the nation. Something has got to be done. Everyone has got to stop the madness. Just because my skin is pigmented in a Caucasian color, in a white color, those that know me know that I am not a person that looks at things at surface value. I've not raised my children as that. And I'm not going to say all lives matter, because at the end of the day, what's going on right now is the police brutality that is happening with them killing our Black community. Why? Why is it okay to look at someone's skin tone, their melatonin, their feature, and be intimidated by it? Why? Why is it that you guys in the world, not y'all, but people in this world, think that it's okay to just randomly pull over Black folks? Why? You know, from Trayvon Martin to Colin Kaepernick, who was just kneeling, lost his job because he kneeled. Society today is not going to get any better if we don't start a solution. If we don't come together as a community and as a whole, and we don't start paying attention to what's going on and stop just letting these lives that keep passing away go unnoticed, our world is never going to change. United States is never going to change. And I'm sorry, but it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay for a person to have to fear their life on a day-to-day basis because of their skin tone. It is not okay to continue to be divided. It is not okay for white folks to think that it is okay to continue to harm our Black community. That is not okay. It's not okay to do a protest and to sit and be having a peaceful protest that turns into this outrageous, violent, looting, vandalism situations across each state that's doing this, to really uphold one person, two people, three people that just recently passed away. You guys are not really paying respect towards their family. But what you're doing is you're causing people who break into places, people who vandalize things, people who loot, people who are sitting here destroying property. What is that solving? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's you getting something for free off of a bad situation. I'm sorry, but if that's how you're going to pay respect towards a family member who just watched their family die in public across the whole United States, you're going to take an opportunity to pretend like you're protesting, to pretend like you're part of the movement, to pretend like you're somebody who gives a shit about what's really going on, and turn around and you go and vandalize property, you steal things. What does that prove? It doesn't prove anything besides that you are an opportunist to basically say, you know what? Oh, I see an opportunity. Somebody passed away. So instead of me paying respect, instead of me actually giving a shit about what's really going on, especially with Mr. Floyd, here's an opportunity. They're doing a protest. So let me go ahead and pretend like I care. And I'm going to throw a brick in some buildings. I'm going to set some buildings on fire. I'm going to set some cop cars on fire. I'm going to graffiti things. I'm going to sit and steal whatever I can, put it in my shit, and then turn around and come back and act like, quote unquote, I'm with the protest. Bullshit. And I call bullshit on all of it. I am done. I am tired. I am sick of the fact that people keep not understanding our Black community is our strong community. So as long as I live, And as long as I know what's going on, I'm going to keep pushing the fact that we need to come together in solidarity instead of being segregated. We need to come together. You know, we always see our Black community fighting for their rights. When are we going to agree? We meaning my skin pigmentation. When are we going to see that everyone in this earth, everyone in the United States, everyone across the country, everyone everywhere, it doesn't matter what your skin tone is. If you were sitting here and you were in a deadly accident, or an accident that you needed to have major surgery, which caused you to have some blood, prime example, are you going to wake up from your surgery, during your surgery, and say, no, I don't want that liter of blood from that African American person who donated to save my life just because their skin is black? I know the hell I would not. You want to know why? Because just because my skin tone is white does not mean that when you cut me, and we cut Black people, and we cut brown people, and we cut Asians, and we cut whoever we cut, we all still bleed the same color. That's why I don't understand why there's so many still racist people out here. Like, enough is enough, man. It's time to get the dirty cops out of the cop stations, because a society should not have to fear for their life, period, when being pulled over by the blue badge. I understand that there's still dirty cops out here. There's always going to be dirty cops. But if we don't stand for something, we're going to fall for anything. And I'm sorry, but the lives that have really been affected have been family members of the ones that have been killed by the cops in the blue badge. If we cannot build a movement that helps our community in America grow, why are we in America? Why? Why do you want to call yourself a U.S. citizen? Just because you live in America? Because we're the home of the free? It's time to pull together in solidarity. Because if not, the U.S. is going to see something that they're not going to like. Not going to like it. To all the people that have been killed, all the African Americans that have been killed. Brian Keith Day, Betty Jones, Mary Trelexo, Jordan Edwards, Aaron Bailey, Ronell Foster, Stephon Clark, Antoine Rose II, Dominique Clayton, Atiana Jefferson, Christopher Whitfield, Christopher McCorvey, Eric Reason, Michael Lorenzo Dean, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. If we don't start remembering their lives and making a movement that stops this racist problem that we have, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. Because I tell you what, our Black community is a strong community. And if y'all don't pay attention now, and you haven't been paying attention since 2014, y'all gonna see how a community and a world comes together when you all are standing for the right thing. So with that being said, Black lives do matter. It's not just all lives. This isn't about all lives. This isn't about saying I see no color. This is about showing that you actually have compassion. You have morals, you have ethics, and you understand that in life, when a person says, I can't breathe because you're killing them, not only did George Floyd say that, but Eric Gardner said that as well. In 2014. If our police officers cannot protect and serve and not be dirty cops, then maybe other solutions need to happen. So I really just pray for the United States, to be honest. I pray for the families of all the African American families that have been murdered by police violence while unarmed. I pray that this gets heard and it goes to the right ears. We have to stop what's going on in America. Because if we don't, it's going to get worse before it gets better. With that being said, my prayers and condolences go out to all the families, including Mr. George Floyd's family.